Welcome back. All right, so we got 3 games to recap here. There's some noise from the neighbors too that I'm hoping has stopped, but it may start up again. I need to get the recap done now, or there won't be the time. So we're going to talk about these 3 first games that get done, and then I'm hoping that the next 5 will be its own video, and then there'll be 7 at the end of the night, so that it's not so late when I get everything done. We're going to start off talking about Detroit and Philly. I'm not sure what Detroit's problem is with Philly, in that they just can't score on the Flyers this year. They've played the Flyers 3 times. They have 2 goals. So it's Nedeljkovic versus Hart. JVR is a net drive that saved the Flyers press. They had the lone shot on net 3 minutes into the game. We get a power play for Detroit. That's killed off, just the one shot. Really nice kill there by the Philadelphia Flyers, and they would get a lot of practice on that today. Wings go back to the power play. It's a 4 minute, so that counts as 2 power plays, right? Raymond's denied. The rebound's cleared. That one's killed off. The shots at that point are 7-3 in favor of Detroit. Frost fires one wide on a fast break. Berggren then had a net feed. That's blocked. We get a power play for the Flyers. That's killed off. The Flyers press with 2.5 minutes left. Hayes is robbed. Nedeljkovic holds there. Farabee is then denied on a turnover in close on the net. So after the first period, it's scoreless. Second period, early power play for the Wings. That's killed off. The shots are 2-0 in favor of Detroit 3 minutes in. Flyers press at 4 minutes. Things get pushy after a hold by Hart, and it's a little bit past the halfway mark in this game when the scoring finally shows up. It's Bellows from Tippett and Lawton at 10 minutes and 10 seconds. The emotions stay up. There's some pushing after a hold by Nedeljkovic. Farabee then has a net feed. That's picked off. Shots are 7-3 in favor of Detroit with 8 minutes left. So they're leading in shots most of the way through. And while it's Nedeljkovic in net, I'm not going to blame him. They got shut out, so I'm not going to blame Nedeljkovic on this one. So the Flyers press with 4 minutes left, 2:33 left. There's another power play for Philly. And then we have 11 seconds of 4-on-4, and then it'll be a Wings power play. But immediately on that face-off, it's 4-on-4 for 11 seconds. Lawton scores during that period from Ristolainen at 19:24. So it's a 7-game goal-scoring streak for him against the Red Wings. So 7 times in a row now, Scott Lawton with a goal when they play Detroit. So to start the third period, the Wings have 1 minute and 16 seconds of power play time, and they needed to score here. And instead, there's a shorthanded chance for Farabee that's saved. They do finish that kill. Sanheim has a blast that saved the Flyers press at 3 minutes. Luff had a wraparound chance that was saved. Flyers clear it out. Flyers press at 6 minutes. The shots are 5-2 in favor of Philadelphia at 7.5 minutes. We get a power play for the Wings. That's killed off. And then with 5:35 left, the Wings go back to the power play. Philadelphia kills that one off too, in large part because Carter Hart was really good today. Berggren gets robbed after it ends. The goalie pull would take place with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. That allows Forrester to hit the empty net from Farabee and Cates at 18:41. So your final score is 3-0 for Philly. They go to 28, 32, and 12 in the season. Detroit falls below NHL 500 at 31, 32, and 9. Shots on net, 8-6 Detroit in the first. Both teams had 8 shots in the second, 13-8 Detroit in the third. Final shots, 29-22 for Detroit. Power plays, Detroit 0 for 7. And I was watching the Philly feed, so they definitely weren't happy with some of the calls. I thought they were legit calls. Were they maybe a little bit softer than the old days? Sure, but I thought they were calls. Philadelphia was 0 for 3. The hits, 27-22 for Detroit. Nedeljkovic saved 19 out of 21. Again, he was good, but Carter Hart saved all 29 shots, and that's his second shutout this season and the 5th of his career. All right, next up. So Tampa Bay came in today, and it felt like they decided, well, we're going to fight the Bruins. We're going to show them we're not going to get pushed around, and we're going to bounce back from a really rough game against the Ottawa Senators. So it's Vasilevsky versus Ullmark. That is a prime matchup in goal. And they started with fighting. And so basically every guy on the ice pairs off, and we had a fight between Maroon and Hathaway that was a real fight. But the boxes kind of fill up a little bit here. Bruins go to the power play as a result. The Bolts don't let them set up, though. That's killed off. 1 shot for Boston during that power play. The Bruins go back to the power play. There's an early cycle. The Bolts clear. That was killed off as well. 5:33 in, the Bruins get their 3rd power play already. And Bergeron would score this one off it goes in off Hedman's skate as well. It went off Bergeron's skate and then Hedman's. Marchand and Lindholm with the assists at 6:46. So Tampa Bay looks to answer. There's a high stick, though, and that's a 4-minute penalty in favor of the Bruins. So during that power play, there's a turnover and Hedman wires at top corner from Belmar and Killorn at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Orlov then has a blast that's saved. We end up with 29 seconds of 4-on-4, and then Tampa Bay will get the power play. Everything's killed off, though, and then Hedman has a chance that's held. So Hedman had a pretty good game today. Pasternak has a shot that's blocked. The Bolts clear it out. 1:21 left. Tampa Bay gets their second power play of the game. I think Boston already had 5 at this point. So we're going to the third period with the Bruins needing to finish the kill in a game that's tied 1-1, and Boston finishes the kill. Hagel hits the outside of the post. Stamkos has a chance that's saved as the Bolts press. Shots are 3-1 Boston, 4.5 minutes in. Sorelli then has a shot that saved. The rebound's cleared. There's a stretch pass to Krejci. That's defended. Killorn with a net feed. That's held. There's some pushing after. And then Radish with a wraparound chance. That wouldn't go. The Bolts get a power play, and then it becomes 1 minute and 10 seconds of 5-on-3. So this is a big moment in the game, right? Boston kills it off. Really solid kill by Boston there. Pasternak to Krejci's then picked off. The Bruins get a power play. It lasts 8 seconds. So yes, Boston had 7 power plays. One of them was 8 seconds long. Tampa Bay had 5 power plays. One of theirs was 8 seconds long. So Orlov gets denied from the slot, and then at 17:32, when we're back to 5-on-5, Hathaway, who was involved in the fight in the first period, scores from Grzelcyk and Nosek. He buries a rebound there. Bruins press for another. It's 2-1 in favor of Boston after 2 periods. Third period. Good early forecheck by Tampa. The Bruins press 2 minutes in. Coyle has a chance to spot. Blocked. Tampa Bay rushes. The shots on net, though, are 6-1 Boston, 6.5 minutes in. Krejci has a slot shot that deflects out. Tampa Bay presses with 9.5 minutes left. There's a power play for the Bruins with 8:24 left. There was a shorthanded rush chance for Sorelli, and there was some sloppy play by the Bruins in this game. Yes, they end up getting the result they want, but there was some sloppy play. That power play is killed off. Hagel's then denied on a rush out of the box. The Bruins press with 2.5 minutes left. The goalie pull would take until 1 minute left because Boston had some good offensive zone time and some good forechecking. And then 39.3 seconds left. The Bruins ice the puck, but they do hold on. They win this one 2-1. They go to 56, 11-5. That's a ridiculous record. For Tampa Bay, 41-30-3. They've lost 4 in a row. Tampa Bay's having trouble, and we can have the debate about whether or not it's hard to focus because they know who they're playing in the playoffs, and maybe they're just not in it. But Boston are 22 points ahead of second place right now, and of course Toronto has yet to play. But yeah, it feels like it's really gone off the rails for Tampa. Shots in this one, 10-5 Boston in the first, 11 apiece in the second, and then 13-11 Boston in the third. Final shots, 34-27 for the Bruins. Power plays, Tampa Bay 0 for 5. Boston 1 for 7. Hits, 35-25 Tampa. Vasilevsky was very good, 32 saves on 34 shots. So was Ullmark, 26 saves on 27 shots, as he continues to run his way towards a very likely Vezina win. All right, and the last one we're going to recap for now is your No Mercy game of the day thus far. So Seattle and Nashville. Nashville does this. This is the thing. Nashville comes out, they play a really good game, and their last one against Seattle, they get that comeback victory. And then this happens. So, Grubauer versus Saros, they had a nice statue for Rinne today. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. That was basically the highlight if you're a Nashville fan. So early press for Seattle. Seattle scores. It's reviewed. It does count. And because it was a failed challenge for Nashville, there's a power play for Seattle as a result. So it's sprung from Donato at 3:14. That power play, those killed off. No shots allowed by Nashville during that. Preds, no shots on net to this point. They get a power play. They cycled. It looked dangerous early, but it's killed off. Kraken press at the half. Saros makes some saves there. The Preds go back to the power play. That's killed off. The shots are 10-1 for Seattle with 6.5 minutes left. Dunn and Sissons are unfriendly. Seattle ends up coming out with a power play. Things are getting scrummy on the whistles during the power play. That was killed off, just the one shot. 3:30 left. Seattle goes back to the power play, and they score on it. If you give them enough chances, they will score. It's Tolvanen from McCann and Bjorkstrand at 17:37. It's a one-timer on a good cycle. Don't tell me Ellie Tolvanen wasn't aware of where he was playing today, because he definitely played like he was aware of where he was playing. Kraken press in the final minute, but they're up 2-0 after one, and Nashville had one shot in that first period. Second period, Seattle, 22-2 leading after the first period. Keep in mind that third column there, that 2, one of those was a game they were leading in Nashville just a couple days ago. So they have lost when leading after the first against Nashville within the last 48 hours. But Barrie would score at 1:43 from Tomasino and Duchesne. That was a rebound he gets. And so that makes the score 2-1. Preds came out much better in the second period than the first. Nashville gets a power play. That's killed off, just the one shot. Sprong has a shot that's tipped wide as the Kraken press. Shots are 3 apiece, 6.5 minutes in. Tomasino's then denied on a breakaway. The Kraken get a power play. That's killed off. Momentum, though, with the Kraken. However, Saros an absolute wall at this point, keeping it 2-1. Just fantastic play by Saros. Tomasino then has a chance that's held. And then Saros comes out to win the race for a puck. He won the race. He actually won the race. And then the puck goes right to Ellie Tolvanen, who sees that empty net staring him right in the face. And at 17-16, he buries it to make it 3-1. So immediately I thought 10 the goal. I heard it in my head, 10 the goal. It was there. You guys know what I'm talking about. 10 the goal. It seems really simple. When a goalie comes out and wins that race for the puck and it works, it looks great. When it doesn't, it looks bad. And in this case, it looked bad. Preds look to respond. There's a press by Nashville to close it, so it's 3-1 after 2, but Nashville's able to get some goals, right? Third period, they do. 53 seconds in, it's Duchesne from Barrie and Tomasino. So these three guys combined on a goal in the second, they combined on a goal in the third, and in both cases, they're early goals, and in both cases, they make it a 1-goal lead for Seattle. It was a sharp angle shot that was tipped in by Duchesne in front. Glass then got shaken up on a collision at center ice. Fans called one, the ref didn't, so the ref is informed that his suckage meter is not at 0. I don't know that it's at 100, but it's definitely not at 0. Larson would then wire one from in close. McCann with a fantastic play to set that up. Done with the secondary assist at 3:57. Seattle then presses for another, and the shots are 5-2 for Seattle at 7.5 minutes. They really had a clinic in that third period. Beniers then gets his 20th. He buries one on a 3-on-2. Dunn and Everly with the assists at 8:13. McCann then adds one to make it 6-2 at 10:47. Fabro would hit a post as Nashville tries to answer, but at 12:35, Bjorkstrand backhands one in. Just filthy goal there. Gord with the assist. And so it ends up being a no-mercy game. A 7-2 win for Seattle. They go to 40, 24, and 8, so they're at 88 points. And for Nashville, this is a tough one. 36, 27, and 8. Depending on the game between Calgary and San Jose, they could find themselves behind Calgary. Depending on the game between themselves or between Winnipeg and LA, they could find themselves further back of a playoff spot. But your shots in this one, 13-1, Seattle in the first. 16-10 Seattle in the second, and 10-5 Seattle in the third. Final shots are 39-16 for Seattle. It definitely felt like Seattle wanted this win, and Nashville didn't have that same amount of desire and drive. Power plays, 1 for 4 for Seattle, 0 for 3 for Nashville. Hits, 31-22 for Nashville. Grubauer, 14 saves on 16 shots, and Saros saved 32 out of 39. Saros was really good, but then after that Tolvanen goal where he came way out, it just felt like things changed. Even though they got close early in the third period, it definitely felt like things changed. Saros' luck went the other way from there on. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.